Hola, mi gente. Oh my God, you guys haven't seen me in such a long time. But Mama has been busy and busy in a good way. I got some projects coming up that I'll be announcing. I'm not going to be here long, even though everybody says that, right? When they go live, I'm not going to be here long. But I'm not because it's late here on the West Coast and it's getting even later on the East Coast. But I just wanted to share some thoughts with you. As you saw, the title of the video is "Dear Black Women, Help Society Help You." And I know you're wondering, what does that mean? What is she talking about? So this is what I'm talking about. I was inspired by the latest celebrity scandal story, T.I. I'm speaking of T.I. and Tiny specifically. This woman named Sabrina Peterson has just accused T.I. of pointing a gun to her head in front of her children and doing some other scandalous things. And then after she came out, dozens of women have come out and also accused T.I. and Tiny of all kinds of things. Of course, these things are still alleged because although I like to judge, this isn't a courtroom and I don't have any evidence and there's no witness testimony. So whether he did it or he didn't do it, I do not know. That's for the courts to decide if this case moves forward, right? It also inspired me. Her story inspired me because she had been longtime friends of T.I. and Tiny. And in her social media rant, she mentioned that she was, didn't want to say anything at said time when the crime happened because she didn't want to get anybody in trouble, specifically T.I., right? So that inspired me to do this video where I say, "Dear Black women, help society help you." There's a pattern that I noticed with Black women where, they follow certain celebrities and certain public figures who berate Black women, okay? Black women in general. And I got my sign, okay? Because I know a lot of you come in to get some butt hurt on my channel. I got my sign. So a lot of Black women, what they do is follow these celebrities who berate Black women. There's, Snoop Dogg has millions of Black female followers. So does T.I. So does Tariq Nasheed. So does Kevin Samuels. The list goes on and on. So does Tommy Sotomayor. So I think that Black women find these men entertaining until the gun is turned on them, right? Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, right? So I think these men are entertaining. And then I think that these men feel confident in disrespecting Black women. Why? Because they have Black women as fans. So going back to my title of this video, "Dear Black Women, Help Society Help You," is that you can't egg these guys on. You can't applaud. You can't hit them with the laughing emojis. You can't say they're your favorite rappers. You can't, run around after them and praise their presence and then get upset when you are, as Malcolm X said, the most disrespected, unprotected, and neglected, right? So I don't want anybody to think that I am victim blaming or shaming, right? No one deserves to get treated badly by men or anybody for that matter. But what I'm saying is be careful what you champion, what you campaign for, and what you applaud. And we see this behavior over and over and over again, not only with Sabrina Peterson, who's now accusing T.I. of a crime. She was his friend and she didn't want to put him out there. She didn't want to mess up the bag. We saw the same thing with Surviving R. Kelly. The women that exposed R. Kelly at one point, and some of the women, not all, I'm not talking about the children he ran around with that were like 12 years old. I'm talking about some of the women that were in his camp, didn't want to mess up their bag, his bag. They didn't want to cause waves or cause any trouble. We saw that also with Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. When she went on her Instagram live and did her rant, her words were, "I didn't want to get him in trouble. I could have said X, Y, and Z, but I didn't want to get him in trouble, so I didn't say anything." And again, all these things are alleged, but as far as we know, R. Kelly got convicted. Tory Lanez, that case is still up in the air. T.I., that's still up in the air. But I noticed that Black women think it's funny or take joy in or co-sign when people like Kevin Samuels, Tariq Nasheed, Tommy Sotomayor, T.I., Snoop Dogg, when they berate Black women, I've seen hundreds of thousands of emojis under these guys' comments, posts, when Snoop Dogg said what he said about Gayle King, it was funny to everybody. It was funny. Everybody was like, oh my God, it's so funny. And yeah, Gayle deserved that. And it surprised me to see Black women co-signing some of these men and what they say. So I'm just like, oh, I don't know. It's like, do not do not take part in your own demise. Because remember, these women are disrespecting not just that individual, not just the Gayle King, not just the Sabrina Peterson, not just the women. It's about, they're not individuals. They represent Black women as a whole, right? So, I don't know, take my advice or leave it, but I don't think you should partake in the campaigning of the disrespect of any Black women at all, because they represent you, right? So that's what I had on my heart and mind to say. The pattern of protecting these men, you know what I mean? And while you're being the most unprotected, disrespected, and neglected, to me is completely asinine. And I don't think you can ride the fence on this. You're on one side or the other. Either you're against Black women being disrespected, such as you are, such as yourself, or you're not. But I think what's silly is to, continuously complain about how unprotected and neglected and disrespected you are, and then in the same vein think that something like what Snoop Dogg did to Gayle was funny or justified because Kobe died, or you know what I mean, or what's happening to Sabrina Peterson, and her allegations towards T.I. I mean, I saw hundreds of you under T.I.'s page. Yeah, she's just a groupie. She this, she that, fuck that hoe. And those were Black women saying these things under T.I.'s page. Same with R. Kelly. We still have Black women campaigning for R. Kelly. You know what I mean? So you have to pick a side, pick a side, pick a side, pick a side. And if you are ever, my advice again is, if you are ever violated or disrespected, or pump brakes to it, right? Because it can help someone else later on. And I think that there's this celebrity worship that goes on that's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, these women are campaigning for these rappers, and they're talking to themselves in the comments because the rappers aren't paying them any much attention until, they find themselves in a shitload of trouble. Then all of a sudden they're all about the Black woman and the Black people. You know what I mean? When I saw T.I.'s Instagram video, he was like, I do a lot for the community and I'm all about, women empowerment, this, that, and the third. Hip hop is what it is. We all know that we were raised on a genre of music that has disrespected Black women from the very beginning. We've all bobbed our heads to it because the beat was really, really hot. And we have to start taking accountability and ownership in how we partake in the environment that we've all created. So that's what I wanted to say. And again, it's not Black women, it's just some, right? So thank you again for joining me. I know you haven't seen my face in a long, long while. As usual, as a busy woman, but I will be here, and I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this video, which I'm used to. It's quite all right. It doesn't move me or shake me. It doesn't pay my bills. You guys can, curse and project and let out all your miseries of your life on my comments. It's fine. Also, I don't erase comments. I know a lot of you people have been like, oh, you delete. I don't have time to scroll through the hate and delete fucking comments. I don't have the time. I come on here, I say what I say, and then I let you guys implode. All right, so thank you so much for joining me again. I said I wasn't gonna be long. I gave you a few minutes, and I'll be back. A lot of people are asking me to review Nate Parker's new film. I saw it. We got to talk. All right, guys. So I'm gonna look through the comments really quickly. If there's something interesting, I will address it. If not, I will bid you adieu and good night. Hey, Ed, thank you. Yes, my imitation of Courtside Karen. It made me laugh. Okay. All right. Okay. What's up, Soup Bone? All right, guys. So I'll address this one comment because I think it's interesting. Thank you so much, The Real McCoy. I appreciate that. So, okay, there are two comments actually that are good. I'm gonna give them a few minutes each, and then I gotta run. But I think they're interesting comments indeed. El Vacano says, in Snoop's defense, Gayle dissed Kobe. Okay, really quickly, Gayle did not diss Kobe. You guys can't just add things to the what actually happened. You can't just add things. There's a lot of parroting going on, and by parroting I mean like one person says something and then 100 people say it, even though that's not what happened. Gayle did not diss Kobe Bryant. Gayle is a journalist, right? And as a journalist, you are going to speak about current events and what is happening. After Kobe, these are the facts. This is not my opinion. After Kobe Bryant, okay, was tragically lost to all of us in the helicopter crash with his daughter, a lot of people ran onto Twitter and brought up his rape allegations once more. That is the big part that you're missing, okay? So Gayle King interviewed Lisa Leslie, I think her name is, and Gayle King, as a good journalist, in my opinion, brought up everything that was being said at said time, okay? Gayle King was not the first person to bring up the rape. She brought it up because after Kobe died, a lot of people, Abigail Disney, that other actress from Westworld, that white chick from Westworld, they were all on Twitter talking about, well, he was a rapist anyway. So as a journalist, of course, when you have someone sitting in front of you that was close to Kobe, you're going to ask, hey, and by the way, they're also now this rape thing is coming back up. How do you feel about X, Y, and Z? Now, you have a right to be offended, but whether we like it or not, whether we think Kobe did it or not, it was part of his legacy. And I think that Kobe addressed that situation in the most excellent way, the way that we would expect Kobe to address something like that. A lot of you don't even know that Kobe Bryant apologized to his accuser, okay? The letter is public record. You can Google the apology letter, Kobe Bryant to his accuser, okay? He never said that he did it, but he apologized saying if she felt like it was rape, he gets it, right? But that wasn't his intent of that night or whatever. So Kobe already addressed that, but you have to understand when things come back up as they normally do, especially now in the environment of social media, everybody's going to talk about it again. So Gayle didn't diss Kobe. As a journalist, she brought it up again and people got offended and got in their feelings. So I don't think that Snoop has a defense in that department. He could have disagreed with her. He could have not liked what she said, but the way he berated Gayle King like she was some two-bit hoe on a street corner is very, very dangerous to Black women, because the message that Snoop Dogg is putting out there again, as he's done his entire career, is that Black women are disposable and expendable, no matter how accomplished they are. We're talking about Gayle King. When you look at her in society, she did everything right. She has no scandals. She went to school. She's a successful woman. She's a millionaire, right? She did everything right as a Black woman. And here comes Snoop Dogg and took her down and threw her in a gutter with his comments. I think it's very dangerous that we champion that behavior because Gayle King is a Black woman. So it was all fun and games when he was doing it to her. But remember, Gayle King is a Black woman. So the things that we, champion and campaign for, right, can backfire on us. Okay, those of us who have Black mothers, Black fathers, Black wives, Black daughters. Remember, Gayle King is Black. Okay, and if your relatives are Black, that Snoop Dogg is creating the environment for men, women to disrespect Black women. Okay, so all fun and games till it falls in your lap. So no, I don't think he has a defense. I didn't think he had to address Gayle King in that way. But Snoop Dogg has made a career of disrespecting Black women in his music, while he praises Martha Stewart and licks chocolate off her fingers, who's a white woman. So do what you want with that information. There was another comment that I wanted to address. Steph Curry, the GOAT, says, where do Black women protect Black men? I'm not saying they have to, but where is this even true? Steph, again, we can't say everybody. That's why I do this sign, because people get butt hurt all the time, right? So I'm not saying all Black women protect Black men. I'm not saying so. I'm saying, but there are a lot of Black women that protect Black men. There are a lot of Black women that are out there marching and protesting and tearing shit up when something happens to a Black man. I'm sorry if you haven't seen it or experienced it in your life, but they are out there. So we can't say all for any situation. They are out there. And if you're not around those women, seek out the women that are, because they're out there. I promise you. All right, guys. So, okay. So, all right, guys. So that was it. There's some other comments, but I'm not going to get into all that. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again soon. Take care. Be good.